The new Animals Assemble season is starting tonight in Marvel Snap with a brand new season pass card, Hitmonkey, arriving. And in this video, we're getting you all ready for Hitmonkey with some of the best deck ideas that I've seen so you can start to use Hitmonkey on day one. We also have some best synergistic cards for Hitmonkey so that you can start to create some awesome new decks of your own and some of the best counter cards that you need to avoid if you are playing Hitmonkey on your own. And if you're ready for all of that, Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Marvel Snap fans. Welcome back to the Valley Snap channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking all about the new Animals Assemble season for Marvel Snap starting tonight, along with a new card, a new season pass card arriving in Hitmonkey. And we're getting you all set with some of the best deck ideas, some of the best synergistic cards with Hitmonkey that you could pair with Hitmonkey on day one, and some of the counter cards that you need to avoid if you're playing Hitmonkey of your own. And if this is your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Snap content with deck ideas, news, tips, tricks, everything to help your Marvel Snap experience on this channel. But let's get right into it and talk about this Hitmonkey card. And it is a 2/0 card with the on reveal ability, gaining +2 power for each other card you played this turn. So if you're playing a lot of cards on that final turn of the game, that's probably where you want to play Hitmonkey to get the most value out of this card. You want to play it late and have the most cards playing with it. Now, there are some scenarios where you can play this a little early with a card like Mysterio, because Mysterio is effectively going to turn Hitmonkey into a 4/10. But let's take a look at some other synergistic cards with Hitmonkey. Mysterio is one of them, but Beast is another one that I want to discuss, because what Beast is going to do is going to return all your cards at this location to your hand. They're going to cost one less. So if you're having a bunch of one-cost cards at the location, Beast returns them to your hand. Well, on that final turn of the game, or whatever turn you're playing Hitmonkey, you have the potential to play a bunch of zero-cost cards. Now, Quinjet did get nerfed in the last balance update, which means that Quinjet can't make any zero-cost cards for you, but Beast still can. So you could run a lot of cards with Beast and Hitmonkey. Next, we talked about Mysterio a little bit. Now, what Mysterio is going to do is, if you play this card, it's going to play two other cards. So basically, by playing this 1/2 card, you're getting the value of 3 costs played for Hitmonkey. So effectively, playing playing Mysterio and playing Hitmonkey is effectively getting 10 power on, different locations, but effectively 10 power for 4 costs. So a 4/10 card, extreme value if you're paying Mysterio with Hitmonkey on its own. Very, very strong card, and that's a lot of tempo that you could gain. Other cards that work very good, we talked a little bit about Bishop, and Bishop is great because after you play any card, well, Bishop is going to get stronger if you're looking for that big explosive turn 6 where you're dropping a lot of cards. For each card that you drop, including each of those Mysterios, that is an extra power to Bishop. So Bishop has some great synergy with Hitmonkey as well. So does Angela. The one card that made me think of the big Hitmonkey final turn play is Sarah for explosive miracle plays. Now, if you have Zabu and Sarah, that goes well with each other, and you can make it even more explosive turn 6 play. But Sarah on its own, cards in your hand will cost 1 less. There is a minimum of 1, so you're not going to have that 0-cost cards like you potentially could with Beast. Because Hitmonkey is a 2/0 card, well, if you negative that card, flipping the power and the cost, well, essentially that's a 0-cost card already starting with 2 power, so you're getting even more power that you could potentially add. So Mr. Negative has some obvious synergy, and again, because it is an on-reveal card, you have some synergies with Absorbing Man as well. Now, this would probably go better in a Zabu Sarah deck to really make use of that potential 2-cost card for Absorbing Man with Zabu and Sarah. But if you could play both of these, that's a lot of potential points that you can drop on that final turn of the game. Let's talk about a couple of cards that work well with Hitmonkey that I don't have. And Bast is going to set the power of all cards into your hand to 3. And instead of a 2/0 card, now you're starting with a 2/3 card, and it's just making it a lot stronger for 1 cost. Bast does a lot. Great synergy with Hitmonkey, and the other card that currently is disabled in Marvel Snap right now in Kitty Pryde, when you return this to your hand, gains 2+ powers, so you could essentially get an 8 power card for 4 costs. Pairs very well with Hitmonkey, dropping that 8 power for 1 cost, and then getting an additional 2 power with Hidden Monkey. So you could drop a lot of power with Kitty Pryde as soon as she is enabled. But like I said, I don't have this card right now, and it's not enabled in the game right now because of all the bugs that were going on. Now let's talk about some counters before we get into these decks. The number 1 counter that I see with Hidden Monkey is this Sandman. Now there are some counters to Sandman if you play maybe an Enchantress to remove this ability, especially if they play that Sandman early. You could get rid of this ongoing ability because you're not going to have those big expensive turn plays. Now, sometimes you may want to do that, just that play with Hidden Monkey and Mysterio to get that out early. To beat this Sandman, that is fine as well, but Sandman will stop those big explosive turn 6, which will get that maximum amount of power for Hidden Monkey. Other cards, because Hidden Monkey is on reveal card, Cosmo can counter Hidden Monkey as well. And last but not least, Wave is another counter card because next turn cards in both players' hands are going to cost 4. And if you don't have anything also reducing the cost of the cards, like a She-Hulk or a Wave, well, you essentially can only play 1 card on that final turn. So Wave is another early day counter to Hidden Monkey. All right, and let's talk about some deck ideas. The first comes from Houston. It is based more around a Sarah control, that big explosive turn 6 play. Now, this is a pretty standard Sarah deck, and it doesn't have that Zabu. You can put Zabu in for an even more explosive turn 6. Does feature that Nova Killmonger play. And what Houston writes is you could get a potential 12 power Hidden Monkey on that final turn of the game if everything goes right, with a 1 cost Nova that you're also dropping down along with Killmonger to get everybody more points. You're dropping a 1 cost Mysterio if you have that Sarah down there. So that's an additional 6 power to Hidden Monkey. You also could drop Angela, getting even more power on the board, giving more power to Hidden Monkey. And then, of course, that Killmonger to destroy that Nova. That's adds even more power. So that could be a potential 12 power on your Hidden Monkey, and a lot of other cards there as well. You could also drop Hidden Monkey down on that final turn of the game, along with some other counter cards like a Shang-Chi to counter a potential Red Skull or a bunch of other cards. I think I like this deck. I may be replacing Scarlet Witch or Sentinel with Zabu, but if you don't have Zabu, this is a great early turn pool 3 deck that you could use on day 1 for Hidden Monkey. Next deck that I saw is a bounce list making use of that Beast synergy. This comes from Choose Up, and as we see, we feature a bunch of cards that we can bounce. Now you're making use of the bounce from Falcon and from Beast, returning a lot of these cards to your hand. The cards that you return with Beast do need to be played in that same lane. They are going to cost 1 less, so you could potentially have a bunch of 0 cost cards with that Beast. And then when you return those cards with Falcon, you have some good synergy with cards like Iceman for a potential other cards that you could drop down and just disrupt your opponent. Really good list. Making use of that bounce, still having these synergistic cards like Mysterio in there, Beast in there, and then also adding that synergy with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, along with a Collector there to potentially add a lot of power to your hands with all these cards that didn't start in your deck there. Next, we talked about that Mr. Negative synergy. So let's look at this list, and this comes from Dan, one of the creators on MarvelSnapZone.com. And this is a big deck. Does feature Bast, so this is not one that I would be able to use on day 1, but I do like all the things that Mr. Negative provides. So Mr. Negative is a synergy that I do think I want to lean into on that first day. This provides us with potential multiple Hidden Monkeys with that Wong there, so potential big turn power. We have some magic there to get even more of our cards out, and we have Psylocke and Zabu in this deck to get Mr. Negative out potentially on turn 3. Obviously, we have our 0 cost cards, low cost cards like Iron Man, Mystique here, so some big potential plays here. We have a Pool 2 exclusive list here from Avixan, and this is a great deck if you're not into Pool 3 or don't have a lot of these Pool 3 cards. These are Pool 3 or Pool 2 and other cards, making use of that Zeus synergy here with more Squirrel Girls, Ant-Man, Kazar, a lot of cards that you could throw out in that final turn of the game as well. Bishop is also in this list, and if you do potentially have Mysterio, I would also throw Mysterio in this list. If you don't, because you're just in trying to collect all those Pool 3 cards, I think this is a very fun list to use on day 1. And last but not least, this comes from Safety Blade, and this is a very non-budget friendly list. We see we have a Pool 5 card in Thanos, a Pool 4 card in Valkyrie, also Bass. So this looks like a fun list, making use of a lot of different synergies here. We have the Sandal synergy. We have some lane control with Professor X. If we have a lot of cards in our deck, we have the win condition and Devil Dinosaur, more lane control with Spider-Man, and then obviously we have that Mysterio with that Hit Monkey in this deck with Bishop as well. So a lot of different ways that we could win with this deck. We have use of that Beast drawing up some of these stones and that Hood and a lot of other cards, and obviously Bass in here to power up some of the stones and some of your other cards, especially Hit Monkey. So this list looks very, very fun. It's not a budget list, but if you do have some of these cards, I would potentially try this on day one. This probably looks like the most fun list, but it is not a budget list. But that is it, guys. Let me know what list you are trying out on day one if you do potentially unlock Hit Monkey. I think I'm going to unlock this because this could be a very strong card. Maybe not on the level of Zabu, Silver Surfer, but looks to be better, at least on day one, better than Nimrod, and better than MODOK as well. So let me know your thoughts on this card. Let me know what you're gonna do. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun with this new Hit Monkey card, and hopefully have fun in this new Animals Assemble season. That is it though, guys. If you haven't already checked me out on social media, check me out on social media. Check out some of the other videos. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like because it does help that YouTube algorithm. And obviously, if you like this, the content on this channel, give it a subscribe because, like I said, that also helps the YouTube algorithm as well. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Hulk Fist Bump, ValleyFlyin out.